featuring Professor Ken and Reek in the Lion's Den.
Men's liberation, or men going their own way. What do you think about that? I mean, just kind of from a topical tip of it, not knowing all the full details, but, you know, essentially, like you said, a men's liberation where they feel that women are, you know, having more rights than men nowadays, and them coming together and.
Well, first of all, let's do a little history. You know, the women's rights movement started in 1920. You know, it was allegedly a group of white women who were frustrated the way they were treated by white men, and they feel that they should get equal pay and that they shouldn't just be stay-home moms and be housewives. And then in the 70s, you know, something very important happened. Well, actually, 1965 and 64. You had the Civil Rights Act of 64 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So what happened in that was that they liberated a lot of black women, and a lot of black women started getting very affluent and very prestigious jobs. And then black women, you know, they eventually joined the women liberation movement. And what they thought was to join the liberation movement was to become, you know, a black woman with a suit and tie and somebody who, you know, fight white men, you know, or was against white men and deadbeat dads. So that was the women liberation movement when the black women joined it. Then a lot of black women started screaming they was independent. I don't need you. I got my own money. You know, you start hearing all these songs, you know, by these R&B singers, you know, talking about women liberation, women, you know, and you start seeing movies being made, Diary of a Black Man, Black Woman, you know, just different things like that. Tina Turner, you know, and Ike Turner. And, you know, that created a force. And then a lot of women start coming forward, you know, and start feeling, you know, liberated and start talking about, you know, molestation and, you know, sexuality and sexual harassment. And then here come R. Kelly. You know, R. Kelly, you know, he did his little shenanigans, and, you know, that kind of like frustrated a lot of women, you know, it made them feel like, how dare can this man get away with raping these women? And then, you know, they started accusing Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, and other, you know, powerful men, Russell Simmons, and, you know, just athletes, and everybody started getting accused of being womanizers. And, you know, women, you know, was talking about that they were unfairly paid, that they want to get equal pay, and men get paid more. And that was all good, you know, it was all valid, you know, claims. But what happened then, you got hit with the Me Too movement. So with the Me Too movement, essentially what it did was it allowed women to do blanket indictments on men and just say, well, he raped me. And because they said that, and it was 30 years ago, they were allowed to end men's career. And then a lot of these women, you know, did it, you know, wrongfully. And a lot of them did it for publicity and, of course, for fame and celebrity. And they became famous, and even though they weren't rewarded, you know, some were, you know, they still were able to garner some sense of fame and some sense of power from that. And then, you know, you start having the women's movement and so on and so forth. And then men's like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I understand about the Me Too, but what about He Too? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, we being accused falsely. All these women ain't making accurate claims. All of us ain't rapists. All of us, you know, we don't do this. All of us don't feel this way about women. So the man liberation movement probably was born out of that, because what happened was women got their rights. Women started making progression. We started seeing over 100 women in Congress. We started seeing more women in the Senate. Started seeing more women in corporate positions and, you know, holding powerful positions, and, you know, judges, mayors, you know, everything. You know, I mean, governors, you know, of major cities. And as a result of that, I think it was too much power too soon. And it caused a lot of women, you know, who undeservingly started abusing that power. You know what I'm saying? But then a lot of women, you know, they deserve equal pay. A lot of women, they deserve to be on the same level of men. If they got the skill set, if they're intelligent enough to win an election, if they're intelligent enough to run a Fortune 500 company. But all means, and you pay them good too, because I got daughters, so I'm down with the women. But what I'm not down with women, using the Me Too movement, to falsely accuse men that they might have had consensual sex with, and these men went on to be successful, and they want something from these men, and if they don't give them nothing, they try to go back in their past and take a consensual situation and make it into a situation that's not true. So in that regards, I do think that men need to speak up, and somebody got to speak, somebody got to say something about it, because if they don't, it's going to get further out of hand. So a lot of men probably just fed up, just like the women was, like, hey, look here, we all down for everything, but, we don't want to have to walk to a workforce, or walk into an office, and it's a bunch of bad bras there, but we got to, act like, we got to pimp and hold our head down, you know what I'm saying, and, act like, we in pocket and look the other way. That ain't what we want. We want to be able to go in that environment, coexist as equal employees or employer-employee relationships, but not any hesitation or molestation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's basically what they probably talking about when they talk about Me Too. It's just like, or the liberation mode, they're talking about some, we respect Me Too, but y'all got to respect He Too, too. Men, they is losing a lot of rights. It's a lot of things, men got their hands tied, but then the other men got to keep their zipper in their pants and quit being turned under the zipper. You can't think with your little head, you got to think with your big head, Just because you see a pretty woman don't mean that you got to think sex. Sometimes you got to think, this is my coworker, or this is my colleague, as opposed to thinking, oh man, she's fine, I want to hit her. Or if a woman smile at you, that don't mean that she want to have sex with you. If a woman shake your hand and she shake your hand in a gentle manner, it's maybe because she's not masculine. You can't take all that to mean that, this woman want to have sex with you, because when you do that, you make it worse. You make it worse for guys who don't look at it like that, So it's just a portion where the men have to be more responsible, and they have to keep their genitals in check. And women, they have to, not abuse the power that's been bestowed upon them as almost so the gatekeepers of the game right now, because they're kind of running the game. They're running the business. They're running the publishing business, TV. They're running everything. They don't want to get so powerful and so full of themselves where it backfired on them.
This is my book, The Art of Human Chess. It's a bestseller, New York best time seller. And this book here sold millions, sold all over the world, all throughout the prison system. This is the book, The 48 Laws of Game PHARAOHS. Make sure you get these books. If you don't want to buy the hardcover, if you don't want to buy the paperback, then the best thing to do is go to iTunes on your cell phone and type in my name, Pimpin' Ken, and I guarantee you the book will pop up. If that don't work, go to audible.com, type in my name. If that don't work, go to amazon.com, type in my name. Anywhere books is sold all over the country, you can get my books. These are my bestseller books. You hear people talk about them all the time on Instagram, on Snapchat. These are definitely some good reads. Please get my book. I guarantee you that you will never be the same. Your life will be impacted, and also your life will be enhanced just by getting these two books, The Art of Human Chess and The 48 Laws of Game. Just like the 48 Laws of Power, just like The Art of War.
Too cool to count 24/7.